That's not good. That's how far down Jamar Chase has come down.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
Maybe the greatest catch I've ever seen.
How about Jamar Chase? This is a player that obviously people are high on. I mean, I've gone on here and just said I think he's a potential future Hall of Famer. That's how much, talent level and athleticism this man possesses. But that being said, this report, and let's be real, Matt, there have been no positive reports regarding Jamar Chase coming out of Cincinnati. It's not like this is the only one. I mean, there's so many reports basically saying Jamar Chase has some serious field rust. Like, the guy didn't play last year and is struggling in camp right now. I guess how much do all of these reports? The latest report is this, that there is possibilities that Jamar Chase could lose snaps to Auden Tate.
I think there's two ways to look at this. There's like a long-term view and a short-term view. For the long-term view, I don't really care at all yet. Like it would the fact that he hasn't had a good training. Like, there was the report that he wasn't separating or whatever. There was then like the bad preseason game or whatever, where he had a bunch of drops and all that. That stuff, it's like, I was like, okay, listen, those are one thing. It's like only if he's going to lose playing time. That was where I'd be concerned. Jamar Chase is good enough that this can just turn around at any time. From a long-term perspective, I don't really care. From a short-term perspective, I could absolutely see this Bengals offense as a whole taking like a little bit longer than the fantasy community is expecting to get rolling here. Jamar Chase played 0 football last year. I think that the ADP for all of these Bengals guys, especially Mixon, Burrow, and Chase, has always been very, very aggressive. Like, I think you're kind of buying Jamar Chase at his ceiling anyways at like a wide receiver 20 ADP, where he is slotted in certain sites, that is very aggressive. I did, in response to this, I didn't move him off my wide receiver 25, but I did dip him down another tier. And just to hit on a question from Teddy Maloney in the chat, can you guys talk through Chase, Higgins, and Boyd? Like, which do you want at ADP? I still have it as Chase, Higgins, and Boyd in that order, but I moved Chase into the same tier as Higgins, wide receiver 25 for Chase, wide receiver 27 for Higgins, to kind of signal that Higgins is the best value kind of at ADP right now. Like, there's a very good chance that T. Higgins is the best Bengals receiver from September into October. Maybe that flips by the end of the year. Certainly could flip by 2022 because, Chase is a great prospect. As you see from the route charts, like, the thing that he does best is winning vertically downfield anyways, and contested situations. He's great there. Kind of sneaky yards after the catch. I mean, I do think he is like a DeAndre Hopkins-ish talent that wins all over the field. But the thing that we're counting on here, is that Jamar Chase was going to boost the vertical efficiency of this offense, because the least inefficient throw of all time was Joe Burrow to AJ Green downfield last year. But if Burrow's starting slow and Chase is starting slow, that's kind of, it's like, man, it's just tough. It's just tough right now with Jamar Chase.
When you look at the Washington game in the preseason, it's like, I find it interesting. Most everyone took it very negatively, which I understand. He had 3 targets and he had 3 drops. That's
not great. Not the conversion rate that you want.
Not for your first round pick, right? Like, that's not what you want. Not for the high expectations that are levied upon this talented of a player. But again, the one thing is, normally for stuff like this, I kind of sort of brush it aside, like you say. But you cannot ignore the fact that he has not played football in over a year. And I think that is very apparent. Of those 3 targets, Matt, you tell me, but I saw a lot of separation.
Right. Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Like, he had 3 targets, 3 drops. Yeah, I get it. But he earned those 3 targets because he created good separation. Yeah, he got open, right? So when you're looking for a silver lining, that's a big one, is it not?
I think so, because that's sort of the concern from camp, was that he wasn't separating or whatever. But
right,
our reception perception subscribers would have known, like, that's not really the case with Ja'Marr Chase. Like, he's pretty good at getting open. Like, is he up there at the top of the charts with Devontae Smith and Elijah Moore? No, obviously not. Or even Jalen Waddle. Like, no, he's not getting open at that level, but he's pretty well above the average, over the 70th percentile among charted prospects in success rate versus man and press. And that press number is really important. If you go to the sortable tables on receptionperception.com, man, you go and see, like, Ja'Marr Chase faced more press than anybody in the class, this current draft class, obviously back in 2019. And it's not even close. And he played pretty well against press. So I don't have concerns about him long-term as a player. The fact that he's had a slow camp, I don't have concerns about that. Again, Justin Jefferson just last year did not have a good training camp, but he's a football player. When the lights went on, it was good, and things were there. I think Chase could have a similar situation, but again, Justin Jefferson did nothing in the first 2 games of the season. Maybe we see that with Ja'Marr Chase, but maybe it extends even further into the month of September, because he is coming off a full year gap. And I think that's a problem.
For me, I was very bullish on Ja'Marr. Unfortunately, I think probably have to move him down a bit, because as you mentioned, if it takes a month for him to get up to speed, that's not forever, but it's also not a short amount of time.